Shalom. Kol halalimla abanoa Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of that body. Shalom to the 144,001 Okay, may peace and blessings be upon you and your households, and the spirit of endurance as that day approaches closer and closer and closer. We are at the tail end of this kingdom, and it's got a cross section of videos. Getting it from this channel called Britpoint, copyright fair use, not making no money out of this. Okay, showing you the sign of the times. And if you look at different parts of the world, especially Ground Zero America, it's the same, people are complaining about the same things. All right. The diagnosis is the same. The outcome is the same. It's the same thing going on everywhere. Every part of the world, every part of the planet. All right. Hebrews 10:25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. Okay, that time is approaching. A couple more prophecies to go, and the Lord is on his way anyway. All right, let's where is it? Let's go to the video.
And the cost of taking children out for a few hours. So no wonder these parents that are struggling to meet ends to meet, with food and bills and everything, can't take their kids out. I had 3 children, so my 2 and my nephew yesterday, and I thought, right, let's get them out of the house and go and burn some energy off. I booked Flip Out. I'd already promised the kids we'll go to Flip Out, so I booked it online, so it's even cheaper if you book it online. I don't know how much it cost. Do you want to know how much it cost? My God. So for 3 children, 1 hour, for 1 hour bounce, you could do 2 hours, we did 1 hour, and then you had to wear Flip Out socks, not just any wacky world or anything like that socks, had to be the green Flip Out socks, which we didn't have. So for 3 kids, 1 hour bounce, and 3 pairs of socks, £43. Then we went to McDonald's because I hadn't fed them. I was like, I'm not feeding you in there. Absolutely not. Took our own bottles of water, thank God. Went to McDonald's, that cost me another 30 quid. So for 2 hours out, it cost me over £70. It's absolutely ridiculous. These places that charge that much should be ashamed of themselves.
Fucking despise this fucking country. They're all just... Oh, I can't even say it. Just many grabbers. Get me out of the UK. Council tax is just ridiculous, and I've contacted him about it, and now they summons me to court like twice, so I've got to pay an extra £140 for absolutely nothing when I've paid it. But because they'd already done it, I have to pay their connection fees, even though they haven't received my emails or my phone calls. Oh, get me out of this country. They're all in it for themselves. I swear, the greed, look after the greed. Also, poor look after the left. Oh, I'm so angry I can't even speak. Also, poor left to look after themselves. Keir Starmer, I thought you were going to come through for me, but then again, actually, it is Wales, because we have our own stupid government. The Welsh government, you need to sort it out. I'll be down in the Senate in a minute, saying it how it is. I'm going to move to another country. I've had enough. I'm done. I am done.
If you think feeding your family is expensive now, just wait. So ground beef just hit its highest price ever in American history. The thing that most of us rely on for burgers, tacos, and spaghetti night, it's becoming a luxury. And it's not stopping here. The experts say that the prices are going to keep on going up and up. Why? Well, it's a couple of things. You got to mix a drought high feed costs, reduced cattle supply, and corporate consolidation. That means fewer options, higher prices, and families having to make more tough decisions at the grocery store. Even basic meals are turning into a budget challenge. And remember, this is not just about beef, this is about the cost of living. It's another reminder that the average family is being priced out of normalcy. You're not crazy for noticing everything feels harder lately, because it is. And what's being done about it? Not much. Big corporations are raking in profits while you're deciding between milk and meat for the week. So next time you hear someone say the economy is doing great, I want you to ask yourself something. Great for who? Because it damn sure ain't the family that's trying to make tacos stretch for a week.
The United Kingdom used to be one of the wealthiest empires in history, but today it's drowning in debt, unable to pay its bill, and also struggling to feed its own people. And here's why. And apart from London as well as Southeast England, the country as a whole is stagnant, struggling, as well as shrinking. And England already has sky-high taxes, and it doesn't want to raise that anymore. And it also doesn't export much compared to other countries like Japan, China, or Germany. And the sad part here is that England doesn't have much natural resources left as well, and the only thing it can do now is borrow. And in 2008, the UK borrowed more than $141 billion to bail out its banks. And over the next 15 years, England would have no real growth, investment, or stimulus. And many economists call this the lost decade. And disaster after disaster also piled onto the country. Brexit cut foreign investments by 25%, and COVID added another $300 billion in debt. And we also can't forget about the Ukraine war, energy shortage, as well as another $100 billion in borrowing for emergencies. And as a result, the UK has to pay roughly $100 billion every single year just on the interest for its loans. This also means less funding for healthcare, schools, as well as infrastructure. And you can say that the UK doesn't really produce anything anymore. Instead, it's simply borrowing. And as a result, the country is slowly dying.
What the actual hell is going on in the UK? I actually think it gets worse and worse every single day. We're literally getting taxed left, right, and centre. It's actually getting to the point where I feel like most people are just working to survive. Like,
Haggai 1 and 6. Ye have sown much and bring a little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Your money's not stretching no more. Let's go.
they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They don't do anything else other than go to work because they literally can't afford it. Like, actually, what kind of life is that? Like, what are we all doing? I think a lot of people are opening their eyes to actually what's going on in the UK now. Like, they're actually realising that we've all been kind of brainwashed into believing that we go to school, get an education, get a good job, when in actual fact that just keeps us trapped. And the lifestyle isn't even good here. The weather is crap. Everybody is miserable. I am literally fed up of being here, getting to the point where I am thinking about going elsewhere. There actually isn't any such thing as work-life balance for most people. Now, let me know, has anyone left the UK? If you've left the UK, where have you gone? Where's better? I need some options. Anyway, rant over. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Right, I've just popped to the shop for a sandwich and I think I need to have a lie down. The price of a pre-packaged triangle of bread and sadness is now officially a joke. It's cheaper to fly to France and get an actual baguette. It's getting out of hand. I'm old enough to remember when a Freddo was 10p. Then it went to 25p, and we thought that was a national scandal. Now, you need to check the stock market before you buy one. They're basically little chocolate bitcoins at this point. And don't even get me started on a full weekly shop. You're going for the basics, bread, milk, a few sad-looking vegetables, and you get to the checkout. And the toll requires a deep breath and a small prayer. I turn around and I'm half expecting the cashier to ask for 3 months of bank statements and a reference from my landlord. You need a guarantor just to buy a cucumber. You'll soon need to take out a 5-year finance plan just to get a block of cheese. People will be passing down half-used tubs of Lurpak in the will as a family heirloom. The National Sanity Service has run the numbers, and the conclusion is this: we're all being mugged in broad daylight by a loaf of bread. The state of it.
Has anybody else noticed the rampant food inflation in the UK? In April,
When the wicked beareth rule, King James Version. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. The woes and the mourns of the people.
April, I paid £9.40 for 2 organic rump steaks. The same steaks are now £12.60. Because Tesco club cards, Nectar points, etc. are an absolute nightmare for food inflation. As of 4 days ago, UK food inflation unexpectedly rose to about 4.5%. Mind you, the general benchmark for inflation in the UK is 2.5%. Now, of course, there's going to be lots of factors as to why food inflation is high, but I actually do like the fact that that person called out the whole Nectar points, club card prices thing in particular, because that system is so bad for consumers. These supermarket companies are effectively saying there are 2 tiers of pricing, and to be able to have the normal level of prices, give us your data, because obviously when you sign up for a club card or something like that, you need to exchange some of your personal data, and they track, what is it that you shop, etc., etc. And I'm like, that just doesn't seem good for consumers. And I understand why some people have actually spoken out about this, including people like Martin Lewis.
I've just been robbed. I've literally just been robbed in Aldi. Please let me show you what I've got. Pack of toilet rolls, yeah? A little car snack. Mints. I didn't even get the 5% one because they didn't have any.
I mean, what that guy was saying, this Jake here, really, it's like you get these club, what you're talking about club card is you get like a card to shop at a specific store. So if it says something's $2.75, but if you scan your club card, you get it like for £2.50 instead, right? And to get those certain discounts, you've got to have that card, and for that card, you've got to give your data away. Just another form of tracking and keeping surveillance on you. All these things that we've been getting accustomed to is just a prelude to the Charagma, Revelation 13:16, and they're already pushing the digital ID heavy, which is going ahead, right? And which will lead to people being implanted with the RFID. Okay, just watch how things unfold.
Because obviously when you sign up for a club card or something like that, you need to exchange some of your personal data, and they track, what is it that you shop, etc., etc. And I'm like, that just doesn't seem good for consumers. And I understand why some people have actually spoken out about this, including people like Martin Lewis.
I've just been robbed. I've literally just been robbed in Aldi. Please let me show you what I've got. Pack of toilet rolls, yeah? A little car snack. Mints. I didn't even get the 5% one because they didn't have any, so I've had to get the 10% one, which upsets me greatly. And the fact that it's in this stupid packet, piss off. Cheese, like fake cheese. Onions, 50% off. Mushrooms. 1 lone potato.
What?
I don't know, it's seeming like I've got quite a lot now. Eggs that were 50% off. Cheap coffee. This ain't even the one that I want, but needs most because I can't find my Starbucks one. 50% off grapes. 50% off pineapple. And then just some Aldi little baby cream. Please guess how much. Please guess. Put it in the comments how much you think that was. And now come back and listen. Because it was 17 Great British pounds. £17 and 9 pence, I'm sure. £17.09. I'm fuming. Because this literally was for like one dinner. And I thought, oh, you know what? Can't really be asked, but my eldest asked me to make burgers. She like gassed me up like, oh, Mum, I love your homemade burgers. Can you make burgers, please? I said, yeah, I'll make burgers. And here we are. I could have taken us to Five Guys for this fucking price. Fuming.
salary differences in the UK versus the US. So I'm a Brit living in Orange County in Southern California, and one of the biggest differences that most expats and immigrants are going to find moving to America is that their salaries should, for most roles, especially professional roles, be exponentially higher. So I can only really talk for California, and obviously the cost of living here is a lot higher than a lot of other states. But when I was in the UK, a kind of like £50,000 a year job here in the US would command between $150,000 to $200,000, if not more. I actually know people in the US who are making 5 or 6 times their UK salaries. So they might have been making, say, £40,000 in the UK, and then they've come to America and they're making $250,000 plus bonuses, dependent on their role. The wage stagnancy in the UK is just absolutely shocking. Like, I worked in HR before I moved here, and one of the things that we always used to talk about was the fact that wages hadn't risen, really, since 2008 in the UK. I don't know if that's the same in the US and the same in other countries, but it just means that we, as Brits, are really priced out of a lot of countries. When our family and friends come and visit us here in California, they find California extremely expensive because some of them are making £35,000 a year, and that's just a good job in the UK. But when you come here and people are making a lot more money than that on that same job, it makes traveling to somewhere like California extremely expensive.
Let's talk about how much it's costing a family of 5 to live in the UK today. We live in the West Midlands in a 4-bedroom detached house. Our mortgage cost us £916.38 a month. Now, we were lucky. We secured in 2022 at a rate of about 1.5%. Our gas and electric is with EDF and it's costing us £242.92 a month. Our council tax is £235 a month, Wi-Fi £38.99. Then we have our insurances, life insurance, house insurance, pet insurance. Our water bill is £55.29 a month and we are on a water meter. Then on top of this, we have...
That's another enticement, even people going to America. You know, it's that great city, a shining beacon of light. You know, that's why everybody went to New Egypt or America, to make money. Yeah, that is true. The salaries are way higher in America than they are over here. That's for sure. Depending on the role, of course. But it doesn't work out for everybody the same way as it has for her. Okay, you got actual people from the States that are suffering. And she's come from the UK, gone over there. I guess because of her accent and how she looks, she's probably landed a decent role. You know, they see her as an asset.
It is just absolutely shocking. Like, I worked in HR before I moved here.
£149.92. And this is obviously without trip money, clothes, and all the other things that we need to survive at the moment. Living has kind of got very expensive.
Okay, can we be real for a second? The cost of living in the UK right now is brutal. If you've been looking for a side hustle but you're sick of all the noise, please just give me 60 seconds. I was looking for months. Everything I found wanted me to spend hundreds of pounds on stock or become some pushy salesperson harassing my friends and family on social media. I just couldn't do it. I hate selling and I was about to give up, thinking there was nothing out there for normal people. Then I found it, a completely different model. And when I first saw it, I was skeptical because it seemed
I think they're trying to put commercials in between it indirectly.
Absolutely infuriating. You, the countries with the worst for their
change your life. I want to show.
All right, so the benefit system is being affected over here as well. Okay, let's go to another scripture. I think I've read this anyway, but I'll read it again. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And who's in power? The wicked. You think the so-called white man's even going to take care of his own? He doesn't give a shit about the rest of you Edomites either. This is all about the elites.
Show you how it works. Comment the word info and I'll get you the details and explain everything.
benefit systems to access our benefit systems. What are you talking about? The level of delusion with this is absolutely infuriating. But people on universal credit are living some luxury lifestyle. It's £400 a month. It's £400 a month. Half that would have to go on utility bills. So what the are you talking about? You try and live on £400 a month. You know the two-child benefit gap? There's only one other country in the entire world who has something similar to that. Fucking Serbia. Serbia. UK has the 6th largest economy. They're 64th. 64th. Everyone is telling you that the two-child benefit cap has worked. It's just pushed loads of children into poverty. I know you actually love punishing the mother by starving the child, but they're getting rid of the two-child benefit cap. The same people who are getting against this will keep shouting and chanting, "We're doing it to protect our women and children." No, you're fucking not. No, you're fucking not. It's so blatantly obvious that you're I also point out it's the same men who say it's not all men who are saying currently that it is all immigrants. It's weird that hardly any of the tabloids even covered this. But on the 15th of July, there was a debate in the House Commons regarding the two-child benefit cap. And the Tories once again are desperately trying to cling on to starving children. But MPs rejected the Conservatives' motion that the benefit cap should remain, with 106 voting for the benefit cap to stay and 440 against, with a majority of 334. If you have no idea how bad the two-child benefit cap is, or you're fed up with me talking about it, feel free to watch that debate. It is still on BBC iPlayer. Just type in two-child benefit cap debate. Sort out your priorities, because you're perfectly fine with your taxes going to millionaires and billionaires, but not to your neighbours. That feels good. I don't have to hold your hand anymore while we cross the road. My stress levels are too high. I need to go for a lavender bubble bath. Stop stressing me out. Okay? Okay.
The UK national living wage has gone up to £12.21 as of today. That means that if you work an average of 37.5 hours a week, which is considered full-time, your earnings net of tax are £1,721.87 per month. The average cost of renting a one-bedroom flat in the southeast of England is £1,408 per month. In the southwest, it's a little bit less, it's £1,146 a month. So the median rent across the south of England is £1,277 for a one-bedroom flat. I've taken council tax figures from Southampton, Portsmouth, Burgess Hill and Brighton, Band A, and that averages out at a median cost of £126 and I think 96 pence per month. The average energy bill for a one-bedroom flat, one person, is £105 per month. The average phone bill for someone living in the UK is £34.51 per month, although it can range anywhere between £30 and £60. The average cost for broadband is £26.90. The average travel costs to and from work in the UK is £287.83 per month. And finally, on my list, the average cost for food in the UK for one person is anywhere between £150 and £250 per month. Altogether, including the lower end of food and the lower end of mobile phone bill, including the median ranges that I've calculated, that totals £2,008.28 per month. So if you are quick at maths, you'll have realised that that leaves you in a deficit of £286.41 per month. This is what a cost of living crisis means.
Breaking the staff of bread, King James Version. Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. Okay, it's going to get to the point where they're going to have to bring down the portion sizes and maybe have one or two meals less per day. They're already complaining about how everything's expensive, you know. Or shall I buy bread, or shall I buy meat, or shall I buy milk, or shall I buy meat? You know, they got to toss a coin.
This is the current state of affairs in the UK. I've based it on the South. People know that the South and the North are completely different and there's different prices, but this is being felt everywhere. We should all be furious. Whilst corporations, energy companies, gas companies are taking billions in profit, you're leaving the average single working person in a £280 deficit every single month. I haven't included any other bills. There are more, TV license, for example, but I don't understand how anyone is expected to live like this. The government want more people in work. They are claiming that 25% of young people are not in work due to disabilities, mental health, or just simply being unable to find employment. There's a reason for that. There's no point. You can't get anything. You can't live on minimum wage. In fact, that's living wage, not minimum wage.
It's Haggai 1 and 6 again. Gotta read that again. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. All right, wherever your earnings is going, it's just falling. It's like a faucet without a switch off button. You're just bleeding money.
You cannot live on the living wage. I don't know when or if anything is going to be done about this, but at the moment, Rachel Reeves, Keir Starmer, and the Labour government, who I was a very proud supporter of prior to their election, seem to be making it worse. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how people are surviving this.
Oh my God, guys, have you seen Keir Starmer? Now everyone wants him out, and that's the main hashtag around the internet at the moment. He's trying to sort child poverty out in the UK. Why think about the kids when you're about to get kicked out? Do you mean you should have thought about the kids first? Even though the child benefit cap is at £3.6 billion, he's going to try and uplift it so there's no more 2 children cap. So let me tell you what pisses me off with the government, guys. When they say child poverty, they use that word in a term like it's the child and they're hungry and they're fucking homeless and they've got no money and they're living like a third world country. No, obviously that's probably 5-10% of the UK that lives like this. It's the parents. They're not spending wisely and properly. So they might have their hair done, they might go out on a weekend, they might get a fucking little baggie, packet, whatever you want to call it. Basically, they're not spending their money properly and the habits are coming through before they think of the kids. So parents these days, not all of them, but the majority of them, are thinking about their own stuff first. Yeah, they'll get their electric and gas out the way, couple of clothes, depending what fucking council estate they're from, but then can't put food on the table. I think what needs to happen now is the parents need to go through a course how to budget properly. This needs to be in the schools, the schooling system. Teach them how to fucking budget in the house. Gas, electric, food, fucking car bills, children, fucking...
It's making people question their worth, their choices, their future. Behind every statistic is a story, a person, a life, a future worth fighting.
Most people are just working to survive. Like, they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They don't do anything else other than go to work because they literally can't afford it. Like, actually, what kind of life is that? Like, what are we all doing? I think a lot of people are opening their eyes to actually what's going on in the UK now. Like, they're actually realising that we've all been kind of brainwashed into believing that we go to school, get an education, get a good job, when in actual fact that just keeps us trapped. And the lifestyle isn't even good here. The weather is crap. Everybody is miserable. I am literally fed up of being there, getting to the point where I am thinking about going elsewhere. There actually isn't any such thing as work-life balance for most people. Now,
Ecclesiastes 12:3. Okay, let's read it. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Okay? No optimism. People aren't happy. People are trying to escape, go elsewhere to see if they can find a world that their parents grew up in, which is not the case. It's not going to happen. And even if they feel like it's going to happen, it's not going to be like that for long, because this place is coming to an end. Okay? Those doors are shutting. Verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, work is getting very less. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Entertainment music is completely trash. Okay? That positive feel good factor in music is all gone out of the window. All right? And all that, Strawberry Fields and what's the other song? Crystal Blue Persuasion kind of feeling is not there anymore. It's not there anymore, because this place is due for closure very soon. Okay. All right. All praise to you, Hashem Yashai, Hashem Rakakwadash, Shalom.